times, no damage. Nothing. Like, not even a hint of damage on it. I was like, awesome. This is like the best case ever. And there was only like a few instances, I think, where I thought there was damage, and I looked and there wasn't damage. And then I think the next game that I played was Pokemon Black after Platinum, of course. Platinum, there was nothing really too much difference. I think I tried to recreate Staraptor being my best Mon, but it never really did pan out as much as I wanted. I think I ended up going with Monferno for the most part, as most of the game. And then I got to the weird portion of Platinum that I think a lot of other people suffered, where you had to go through the third gym. The third gym is different in this game, and you sort of have to suffer a little bit. I suffered a little bit more because, like, this is the time where, before I ended up deciding that I need to train. This is the time where any wild Pokemon I fought, I had to think about if I wanted to fight it or not, and then trainer battles, I went, okay, fine, I'll beat you. Like, kind of stance. Not like I'll fight anybody just for that a little bit of experience. And I sort of just kept doing that over and over again. And then for for Black, I pretty much just went, you know what, I'm gonna do sort of like the Pokemon anime route. I'm gonna be Paul, pretty much, where I'm gonna only care about my starter, and that's it. And every other Pokemon, you're expendable, pretty much. Like, I'm just gonna catch you specifically for that area because you're about level towards that area, and then that's it. And that pretty much carried me all the way up until, I think, the second gym, I think? Either before or slightly after, where I was able to catch the Pokemon Sock, and I sort of changed the rules. Like, I sort of bended the rules a little bit. I kept Sock till about close to the very end of the game. I kept Sock to as close to the end game as possible. But every other Pokemon, if I had a Pokemon that was weaker, like in terms of level than the other ones, I just tossed it out pretty much. Just went, hey, look, this one's level 23. And every other Pokemon in my party is level 20. Well, looks like you're going away. It was only like, well, if it was only like 1 or 2 level difference, I didn't really care that much. But if it was like 5 or 6, somebody's leaving the party. And I remember because, like, I had a lot of fun doing it that way. Because it was kind of interesting to, like, sort of, like, go against, like, my younger self kind of thing. Like, I would catch any Pokemon that I didn't have or that I wanted kind of thing. And then this one's like, it's not strong enough. I'll catch you fine, but, or something like that, or I won't catch you at all. And then I think I think this was rumored that Pokemon Gray was going to be the new Pokemon game, I think. Right? Was it around this time? I forget what it was. Exactly. And then, or there were rumors about Pokemon Gray, and I think I went to GameStop specifically and asked if they knew that Pokemon Gray was going to be the new game. Because I thought they had, like, insider knowledge kind of thing. And they ended up telling me, we don't know if it's Pokemon Gray. And I went, oh, okay. And then I'm trying to remember everything else though too. And then when it was rumored that you can get like the new games were White 2 and Black 2, you had to pre-order it. I wanted to pre-order White 2 because that's the game that I wanted. It had Reshiram on it. At this point I called it Reshiram. I don't know why. I think it was because there was no there was nothing to pretty much like help you with the pronunciation, so it's like whatever you called it, right? So pretty much I ended up just calling it Reshiram. and I ended up wanting it because it had Reshiram pretty much on the front face, pretty much. Well, white Kyurem, but pretty much Reshiram. And I ended up going like, oh, I want white now, and then I ended up not having enough to pay for the game right away. But the guy's like, no, you can pay as much as you want now. Just when the game comes out, pay the rest. And I went, oh, okay, thank you. So I don't know what it is. I think I pre-ordered 2 things, and that's it. It's always really weird to me, because the way that they keep telling me that when you pre-order a game, it's more than it should be worth. So where I'm from, what a normal DS game is worth, even the DSi games, but they were still called Nintendo DS games, they're normally, or at least for Pokemon, they were normally priced at $40. But for me to pre-order Pokemon White 2, I had to give the guy $50. Which was strange to me. I think I put a down payment of $15, I think, because I had $25 on me, but I didn't want to throw it all there. And then when the game came out, I had the $35 that can finish the payment. So when I went there, I brought the guy the receipt, said, hey, I pre-ordered this game, but I can only put $15 on it. Can I pay the rest? He goes, sure, but it's $25. And I went, the guy told me it was $35. And he goes, yeah, but since the game's here, we downgraded it from $10. And I went, I went, okay. Kind of weird that you wanted me to pay more than I should have, but I don't know. So I ended up getting White 2. I ended up playing it, and I ended up playing it like I would normally do. Not like what I did with Pokemon Black. Which was kind of funny, because I think I tried to at the beginning, but I just ended up giving up on it. I just didn't care that much. But I think before I got White 2, I got Pokemon Black. No, I got Pokemon White, sorry, not Black. And this is what's really hilarious, okay? Pokemon White, or Pokemon Black, sorry, I did my whole Pulse scenario kind of thing. And I was able to beat... Was it Enon gets his first try? Yeah, I beat Enon gets his first try. But then again, this was back when I ended up, what was it? I ended up moving Reshiram into my party, pretty much. Because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And because my Pokemon were, except for 2 or 3 of them, I think. I forget what the other one was. I know there was a couple Pokemon that I was like, you know what, I need you kind of thing. I think I had a Flyer that I kept all the time. And an HM Slave, I think, that I also tried to keep as much as I can. But pretty much, yeah, I had Pokemon that I could, toss out for the most part. And I think that when I did Pokemon Black... I made a first try with Reshiram, and for Pokemon White, with a now more balanced team, minus the Zekrom that you get a hold of, pretty much, I tried the same exact strategy that I did with Reshiram, just vice versa, change it up to being Zekrom, kind of thing. I lose to N. Or maybe it was Getsus, I forget which one it was. I lost to one of them, and I was like, really? And everybody's telling me that Zekrom is better than Reshiram, and I just lost. And I didn't really have that many good Pokemon on my Pokemon Black team. As I said, I had a lot more throwaway Pokemon than I did on this team. So, I don't know what the heck went wrong, but something went wrong. So I ended up having to train Zekrom to be level 52, or 53 or something like that, before actually fighting them again. And then it happened. I won. And I went, wow. Really? And Zekrom's supposed to be way better than Reshiram? I don't think so. I just proved I was wrong. And it wasn't the way that I was playing it. Like, I was playing it like I did with Reshiram. Like, whatever Reshiram had, Zekrom has sort of the polar opposite in terms of the spectrum of special to physical ratio. Because I think Reshiram had Dragon Pulse, where I think Zekrom had Dragon Claw, I think. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. Let me just get to the Gen 5 Pokemon. Oh, it doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you what moves they had, though. It just tells you what level they were. Maybe it'll spark my memory if I just look at it. I think it had Fusion Flare, Extrasensory, Slash, and Dragon Breath. I'm pretty sure. Because that's like the last 4 moves that it has. And I don't think it would have had Flamethrower because it has Fusion Flare. And then Zekrom, of course, had something similar to it. Maybe it had Dragon Claw, and maybe that's... No, it also had Dragon Breath. Oh, but it had Zen Headbutt. That might have been different. No, I don't think so. I don't think that would have been changing anything for the most part. I don't think most of this would have changed the outcome anyway. But yeah, like because what's really interesting is that N will always use the fusion move first. So you use the fusion move, so you see that you do greater damage. Or at least that's how it worked for both times, I think. And I think when I had to go back with Pokemon White, it was different. I think he didn't use the fusion move. I think he just used whatever move he wanted. And I went, huh? He can change his first move? Like, he can change which one he uses? And I went, well, that changes everything. Like, I was really confused at that point. I was like, he can change that? Wow, I didn't know he could do that. Then I think for X and Y, I was a little late in getting it. I think I had to wait 6 months. Let's see here. Actually, when did they come out? Because I can tell you when I got it. Oops, I did not put and. If I can actually spell release, of course. There we go. It was in October, okay, so that would have been... That was about 8 months. 7, close to 8 months. After the release, I was able to actually get X and Y with a 3DS as well. I still actually have that 3DS right now. But that's but it was like 8 months after they came out, I was able to actually end up playing them. I forget who I started off as though. It might have been... Like, I was able to play through all 3 of them with the starter, with all the different starters, because I was able to buy X later on, so I was able to restart X a couple times in order to see, like, what the different starters do. And that never really did change, to be fair. I think I had a harder time with what was it, Delphox, than I did with any of the other ones. Was it Delphox I had a rougher time with? Yeah, I think it was Delphox I had a rougher time with. Because I think Chestnut, had a rough time at certain points, but it wasn't as bad as any of the other ones. As if Delphox had a rougher time at certain intervals. Chestnut just had a rough time on certain points, and then other points it was like the best Pokemon to use. And I think Froakie never really did have a problem. Or Greninja never really did have a problem at any point, so I was just A-okay with everything. Just Tail Whip, there we go. So that gets rid of the X item. And then that makes you slightly weaker than normal, so this should be able to take you out in 2 hits now. There you go. Yeah, and this was before I think I had any friends with a 2DS or even a 3DS.